Welcome to this episode inside the Brickbox Lego Community News. I'm Adam, your Lego News informant, and today on our co-anchors we've got the Lego guy, Philip, Bailey,
hello,
and Brick Chick.
Aussie Brick Chick.
Okay, my Aussie Brick Chick. Okay, my sister.
You best not drop the Aussie. You'll start an argument that'll be global.
Ooh, controversy.
Right,
Okay, on this episode of Inside Brickbox Community News, we're going to be talking about the Lego House, a little roundup of AFOL Lego related shows we've been doing this year. Also, we'll do a little look-see Lego related shows on the downturn at the moment. And also, we're going to run through some Lego train rumors. This and much more inside the Brickbox Lego Community News. Okay, guys, let's get into the first article for this evening. We're going to have a quick chat on what we think of the new Lego house in Bellona in Denmark. So, who would
Don't
like
all
to
speak at
start?
once. I know Bailey has ideas.
I was going to say Bailey would be the most informed.
I can't sing enough praise to the place. It's turned out exactly as the concepts have envisioned. Bjarke Ingels' group did an amazing job with the outside architecture, and I can't remember the name of the company that worked on the inside, but it's essentially the same sorts of companies that work on the museums and things in the US and through Europe. They were the people that curated the
really fun.
And I think it's just been the perfect marriage for both the history of the brand and the direction they're going nowadays. It's created this whole unique experience that could really only happen at the home of the brick in Billund. I don't think they could have done it in the UK or the US like people were wanting. It just wouldn't have the same authenticity that it does, and I think they've knocked it out of the park.
I'd have to agree. Yeah, the architecture and just the way that the layout is, I think, delivered inside the building really speaks volumes about, I suppose, the vision Lego has long term. I think that really echoes. I'd agree with you. It really echoes their direction.
Yeah,
I love the example of having the machine working in there, showing the kids how they actually produce the Lego is actually a good example of how the company's created. And
in such a format that is so hands-on too. Like everything that I was seeing, like on their website, it's all really hands-on, which is what it should be for kids. But
and even
adults won't be bored.
And I mean, I think that the history section of the history of Lego, I think, is really, impressive and in stature. I mean, it speaks volumes to both adults and kids. And I think it's a great pairing. The way that the adults can take kids and kids won't be bored, even though it's a historical sort of walkthrough. The adults will find it really great, and like if I take my daughter, for example, I could go and show her, oh, look, I had that set when I was a kid, and this was my favourite set growing up. And I remember when I went into my Dark Age, these sets were out, and we've got that set at home. So I think it echoes sort of and works really well in parity together with that space.
Yeah, and on the positive side, they do actually show the whole history of how the Lego branding actually began too, with in the case you, Bailey, with your collection of all the wooden related products Lego made, and it's a brilliant layout for what they've done.
They definitely had a lot more in the archives that I've heard so much about than they let on with the Ideas House, which is that one that you get to see on the inside tour. They definitely had a lot more on display in this Lego house than what they were letting on in their vaults, because there's lots of things there that I've only seen once or twice in the community, and they've got dozens of these things just sitting there. It's like there's so much history that they don't let on in the community, obviously, because it's sort of need to know stuff. And it's good that they can share all of this sort of thing.
No. For a company that's being very deep in its family history and all that, it's good to see a little bit of its background. Like in the case with Disney, they started doing with the Disney house the same setup, and it's done the same thing as what they've done with the Lego house. And I think this is a good example for the future to see where Lego has come from.
Yeah. Speaking of family, you know how they're starting to headhunt Thomas Keld's son for them being the owner of the company, or at least president, whatever position they want to call it. I noticed there's a big mosaic of the Lego's motto. It's one of those lenticular mosaics where you can see it, two different pictures from each direction. And one way it shows, only the best is good enough, and the other way has Ola, Christensen, Godfred, Keld, and also now Thomas. So they're already trying to integrate him as part of the experience at Lego and get him into the public eye a bit, which is good to see.
No. Just the video they did a few years ago, I learned a lot more about Lego I didn't even know about, and this is just really taken over the top with the history. So
it's amazing.
All I know is I want to go there.
I think that's on the list for most AFOLs now.
I know. Well, it was terrible because I have friends in places that obviously could get there, and I'm like watching all their photos come through and going, why not me?
My guess, Bailey, you want to get those bricks on the machine.
I've had people offer me theirs, and link me to Bricklink, where people have actually offered theirs so far, and I don't have the heart to do that. I'm waiting until I can go and get them myself, which should hopefully be September next year.
Because it's an experience. It's not just having them; it's the fact that you made.
It's not just the bricks what you get from the machine. There is actually different exclusive things all around the actual place. You can get quite a sizable amount of little goodies to take home with you. So
at the restaurant, you can essentially make your order. There's a scanner that scans your brick made recipe essentially, and I want to bring my own bricks just so I don't have to open the poly bag.
Yeah, for sure. That'll get a price.
At least by not being one of the first people to go, you know what's in the bag, so you can take it with you.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I suppose while we're on news and on Bill, and I think it's a really good reflection on, because the Lego Ninjago movie's been in the news a lot recently. It's copped a lot of bad press around, and it's got some really good press too. But I think the Lego house goes to show when Lego stick to wholesome sort of grassroots stuff and they do it well, it's received really well.
Yep.
Like when you try and put a bit of freelance and you hand it out to somebody else to sort of take a little bit of ownership over it, it gets lost a little bit in translation. And I think that a lot of the Lego fans don't take too well to that.
Yeah.
Whereas Lego have sort of really directed the space and taken ownership of this project and really guarded it very closely and helped develop that relationship with its builders, and that's really shone through. And I think that's why it's accepted so well by the community and the wider community, because it sticks to what Lego stand for.
Yeah. I think
that's the sort of something that I looked at and I went, oh, that's a bit interesting. They love the house, but they don't like the movie.
So you're saying that, because the movies were obviously handed over to, like, it's Warner, is it? isn't it?
Yeah.
Behind the movies.
Yeah.
So they've obviously got to work in conjunction with Lego, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that are making the movie. So they're going to make decisions that may not necessarily be exactly what we want. But
it doesn't.
I loved the movie. I hated Batman.
Because it doesn't stick to canon.
Oh, yeah, well, the Ninjago movie isn't canon either, and they like if you watch it, it tells you, it warns you right at the very beginning, this is not going to be canon.
Yeah. And but I mean,
the main character stares down the barrel of the camera and says, "Forget everything you know about being a ninja."
Oh, I'm hearing you. Like I didn't think that it was as bad as people portray. Like cinematically, I thought it was really great. It was beautiful to look at. The city was great. It was awesome to like look at brick wise. You look at it and you go, "Oh wow, that's so awesome!" But
did you notice that it was the elements that were real?
Yeah.
And that obviously they did it on purpose.
It's just a different cinematic style.
But I mean, by making each one of the elements real, like more real rather than Lego, it sort of highlighted them.
Yeah, it's just different.
But you didn't know they were being highlighted?
It's a different cinematic style. And I mean, at the end of the day, those sorts of movies aren't going to be for everyone. But I think that the overall takeaway for me around the Lego house was when you stick to something that works and that everyone knows about, in the community, it does really well. And the Lego house, I think, is a prime example of that sort of ownership of what Lego stands for and getting back to their roots and doing well has really shone through on the success, I think, for that house.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm a fan.
Oh yeah, I want to get my hands on that. If any of my friends are going to Denmark, I want the Lego, the colorful one, the architecture set. I don't particularly want to buy it online. I want somebody to buy it for me.
And I think that just that itself is very that building, the style of architecture, the way it's done, is a very bold statement too.
It's beautiful. It aesthetically pleasing. It looks like a kid Wonderland.
It's basically they're trying to create an icon what will last the ages, and they've hit it nail on the coffin straight away. It's perfect.
I see this
hit
as
on the head, Adam.
It's on the head, yeah. Wow, I always get these wrong.
Mixing your metaphors. Okay, sorry, Bailey.
I see this as like the new generation's version of Legoland, what it was and what it started out as. It was meant to be this sort of beacon for, kids and families to come and just enjoy. And the original Legoland in Denmark started out as a Lego model on a table, and that's exactly what the Bjarke Ingels group did with this one. Their original design plan was I think 1/10 scale model of the building, and it just from there.
I'd probably even go as far to say that this architecturally could be one of the creations for the 21st century, like they put in the same realm as like the Arc de Triomphe or the Eiffel Tower. Like it's just so unique and stands out in a way that sort of brings out and sort of, it doesn't detract from its surroundings either. It fits in really well, I think.
Yeah.
It's probably that kind of iconic for Billund.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it'll be instantly identifiable in this generation of people, I think.
For sure. 100%.
So people will see a photo and go, oh, that's a Lego house. That's in Billund in Denmark, like people do with the Eiffel Tower. They'll know exactly what it is straight away.
Yeah.
I think we're all
Marty, are we moving on to the next topic, Adam?
I was just saying you're all finished first.
Yeah, I think we're finished. I think the general consensus is we all want to go.
Yes, indeed.
And who's going to pay for my airfare?
Maybe you need to set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Get a number and get
I'm
online.
not into begging, but I won't say no to a free plane ticket.
Okay, good time to start moving on to the next topic. Let's see, which one will we do? Which will I'll get the train one out of the way. Philip is really edging to really talk about this topic. Let me get my screen up, screen share. Where are we? Where is it? Okay. Fun and games. I was looking on the internet the other day, planning for building my own Hogwarts Express train, and came along and found that Lego has posted up the black wheels again. Now, note the black steam engine wheels haven't been out since the Lone Ranger train. What was, I forget how many years ago now. Was it
2013?
2015, 14,
2013.
13.
13.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
Right back.
So why is it still listed? I guarantee the product wouldn't be still around now. So they must be manufacturing something, and what will it be? That's the big question what is coming up.
I hope it's like a little $10 creator train.
Oh no, these are big wheels. These are big wheels.
I know, but I mean they could be savage and just do that to tease you.
Or maybe they're incorporating them into Nexo nights.
Oh, don't make me laugh that hard.
They could be used for a number of different themes, not just a train, possibly. You never know.
Yeah. Well,
I
I looked up line. I went, oh, I wonder what they've been using it for, and I cannot find one set outside of the Horizon. Not the Horizon. I mean, the Emerald Knight,
which is a train,
and the Lone Ranger train set. So,
and then
I'll throw a very interesting tidbit in there. Potentially, in initial design, they could have planned the Christmas train to have black wheels.
That could be it too. Don't know.
Yeah.
Then last minute, they decided to pull the design because the last Christmas train had black wheels. So they've gone, no, we can't do black wheels. We don't want to do black wheels. Let's change the color because it's not striking enough, or it doesn't look pretty, or who knows? It could be anything. But they may have made and manufactured with the intent for the Christmas train to be black, and last minute changed it and said, no, we want it to be red.
But don't know. It's coming up being a long period of time since the Emerald Knight, and we haven't had a proper steam engine creator expert set since then, so probably overdue for one.
Haven't had a half decent train since the Emerald Knight.
Yeah. Personally, I would love to see the a US style big boy steam engine or something.
Adam, remember? I just remembered. Do you remember how they had maybe a month or so ago, they had rumors that Harry Potter's coming back next year? Possibly another Hogwarts Express. There you go.
Or it could tie into the new series, because they're actually in France this time for the movie.
Yeah.
So it could be something there. Don't know.
Yeah,
that could be another one.
You heard it here first. If he's right,
I got it. It's me.
It's all
that could be it too.
Copyright.
Well.
Print your own news, mate.
What's the name of the game? The Lego Dimensions game. It's being folded up. They still had the IP there.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
The license agreement, so they might be doing something, because the movie does come out next year. So
Lego are the only IP for bricks.
Lego
have only been the company hold it. So it is highly probable that Lego will again get the license for the next wave, but they didn't get the license to build sets for the current or the Fantastic Beasts. They only got the Dimensions figures there, which I thought was a bit odd.
Yeah, I'd love to see some more Hogwarts Express.
Yeah, maybe they felt that that the last movie was a bit of a gamble because it was like, whilst it's in the Harry Potter world, it's taking a step back into the past. You know, maybe they thought that people who'd been watching.
Just note that the movie isn't actually based off a such story. It's all being created direct to film. It's actually off a book the students had at Hogwarts, and they've basically created it just for the cinematic community.
Yeah, and that book, you can get that. You could get that book, The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find the Book, the actual the copy that they had in the movies, the books, but it's very small. It's a very small book, so it's just really.
It's so big, very small.
Yeah,
it hardly has anything in it. It's more talking about the beasts and all that. And, so basically, they created this whole movie series from nothing. So.
I would have thought that they would have taken a gamble on Harry Potter, given its fan base is so large and it did so well initially in the first iteration. But hey,
maybe they felt like they already had too many other things in production at the same time that it wouldn't do well.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Possibly.
Sometimes Lego makes poor decisions. Sometimes it makes excellent ones.
Yeah, look at the Lego Batman sets.
Yeah. I don't know how you can make a Batman movie and make it... Okay, I take that back. I've seen bad Batman movies, but I don't know how you take a child's toy and Batman and you're like, have it still on the shelves. Like,
well, they ruined the Batman franchise for the year.
Well, they've done. Well, they'll have 5 Batman vehicles come out in the Batman Lego series wave. They'll have 2 Batmobiles, a Batwing, a Bat spaceship, and the Sculler.
Yeah, they've still got more coming out too. That's
wave.
I know, and they've got.
They're gone batty.
They've gone bonkers, man. It's crazy.
No, Batman.
No.
They're probably relying on that the rocket ship set. They're probably relying on the fans of City to buy it or something. I don't know.
It will be a fig-driven set.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll get a lot of people that collect all the Batmans.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. It'll be just a set that's driven by pure figure madness.
Yeah, exactly. Say the same thing what happened with the Lego movie sets. They kept pushing out stuff people didn't want, and then when the thing everyone want, aka Benny's spaceship, came out, everyone went berserk over it.
And
that lasted a long time. That spaceship, I saw it in stores up until last year. That lasted a long time. And you can buy them dirt cheap now. They're not worth the box that they're sitting in. It's insane. You can pick them up for $70, brand new in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
they're all
they're probably all being parted by now.
Because people just bought them for the yellow trans clear parts.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hmm.
But that's cool. And it was a great way to get a lot of classic space parts in a particular color scheme. So, and I think that's proof of what happens when you have a fan base.
I got spaceship in the background.
Spaceship.
No, I'm not picking up and smushing it because it's covered in dust.
Well, all you gotta do is pick it up and swoosh it once, and when you sneeze, then there's no more dust.
Then I'll set off all my allergies. No.
Did you see that? Did you see the post of someone trying the swoosh ability of the Millennium Falcon?
I saw a photo of it.
There's a video out there too.
Did it end in tears?
I don't know because it cut out before the end.
Oh, it must have ended in tears then if it cut it out. But wouldn't it?
It was probably not a bad thing that it cut out. Because I don't think they could have been their video would have ended something that resembled Morse code.
All right.
I would still like to drop one. God, we went well off topic there. Rolling on to roundup of the Lego shows for the year. Basically, we're almost at the end. I'm trying to think. Do we have any other shows in Australia that still go this last few months?
I think Rainbow Bricks has a couple that are right at the end of the year.
Yeah, they've got 4 left this year.
4 left, so almost wound up for the year.
There might be Inside the Brick. There might be like little stuff, like doing little things.
Brick by Brick.
But no major shows.
Yeah, Brick by Brick exhibit, the fan built educational show that'll end the year in Mount Isa, and then I think it moves from there to Darwin.
Interesting.
So yeah, no. This will be a 2-part talk about this. This year's it's been a bit of a slower year. Not much turnout in Queensland.
Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? The slower turnout based on 2 movies, a new Lego store. That's like, what the hell?
Yeah, no.
I think the bubble is just bursting. People have just been absolutely flooded with Lego since like 2013.
Yeah.
I think they've got a bit of fatigue.
There's like a population explosion.
And you go put perspective. There's a lot of companies that come out to what's the name? The Bricks for Kids or whatever it's called. They've saturated the market in the southeast corner, and it's
that overpriced kids program.
Yeah, it's taken away from what us AFOLs are trying to put the love affair of Lego out there, trying to get the young ones more interested in the future. Yeah. But it's been over-educated.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of businesses trying to cash in on the Lego brand before the bubble pops, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of them come late.
Bubble popping stage.
You come into this year with such high hopes. You thought, you've got 2 movies this year. You've got 2 Lego stores opening in Australia. You've got all this. And then it bombs. What the hell happened? It just bombed the whole year.
Well, there's been another rumor being running around. There is an app out there where there is a character that looks like Lego minifigures, and from the sound of it, kids in the US are going bonkers over them. I'm not sure about here in Australia, but
if you're talking about Roblox, it's been around yonks now. Like it was starting to take off when Minecraft was getting big, and kids love it
for years.
Roblox is ancient.
It's not new.
So that was one of the rumors was being running around because in the US they're having the same problems. Then their attendant numbers are starting to drop in major shows.
Unreal.
I know in Australia that there's definitely been an impact of Ryan McNaught and his multiple shows touring, and the timing of said shows have made like really big impact. But I know that the one that he did, the Gold Coast school holidays in June, did not get the numbers he was looking for. So if somebody of that caliber isn't getting the numbers, then it's not the shows that's the problem; it's the people going to them.
Yeah,
can I just put my 2 cents? I think it stems back to Lego being dormant or dormant in the general public's eye. And people are just going, oh yeah, you see it on shelves, it's a toy. Yeah, what would you do? My kids go to the toy aisle, and I never check out, and Lego's never sort of been big, so we never really bought it. Then all of a sudden you have the Lego movie, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember Lego, and then the whole nostalgia trip comes out. So people go and watch, oh yeah, I have Lego, and I was, oh, this is so cool. Let's get back into Lego. And I think now you've got this massive population explosion of people who had nostalgia. Addiction, and all of a sudden that novelty is now worn off, and you're seeing that recession of those nostalgic people that really are the general public buying the product, and that's sort of restoring, and it's now wearing off and wearing thin, and people are going back to the way it used to be as, oh yeah, Lego is just a toy, and there's Shopkins, or there's video games, or there's iPads, or there's new Xboxes, or whatever it might be, and people are going back to the way it used to be.
Well, there's also the angle of, you know, those kids that might have been younger that, you know, sort of got excited in the Lego stuff when the Lego movie came out. They've gotten older. Maybe they've grown out of liking Lego, and because their kids aren't into Lego, the parents aren't taking them to the show.
Put in your mind, the last two movies haven't been really related to younger audience. They've been more to the older kids than anything. So saying,
but
9-year-old
such is the nature of the internet. Jane, the way I look at it is Jane's the only one. Jane is the only one that's been able to withstand 2 generations of kids growing up. The Brick Show bombed when that generation they had grew up. I was one of the only ones that was left from the ones that grew up when they started.
Yeah.
And then Jang has somehow managed to latch on to a new generation because he does very, you know, professional reviews, and the Brick Show don't. So I think it's just something that it's the nature of kids. I was one of the only ones that stayed around as I got older with the Brick Show, and then Jang came around the same time, really, but he wasn't as big at the start. So
it's the thing. When I started in the Lego community, I was the start of the Lego community on YouTube, and back then there was nothing there. I do actually expand to the US at the time. It was only when I started this channel was when it started to take off. Within months, the Brick Show was the one that jumped in behind me, who basically, they snowballed me. I could not compete against them. I could not do the same thing as them. But at the time, the numbers in the Lego community was going ballistic. It was going up. And that was around 2008. And it was ridiculous. Now, we've gone from that peak. We're now starting to come this downturn again. I think we're just in that period where the kids are not into Lego, and then you got the kids that are going out of Lego at the same time. So,
and you know the like when you look at it like from I suppose an economics point of view, and when you look at it like a trade or share style, look into how Lego trends in relation to sales versus recession. I think this is going to be your first telltale where people who really sort of look at data and information will sort of have that backup to collect that, and this will sort of look into the future around how long this downturn looks and when the next but like when you say we're in a Lego recession, you go, the last recession lasted 2 years and then it picked back up again. But I mean, we don't have that data to quantify a statement like that, I don't believe, yet within the community. So this will be a really interesting sort of insight, I suppose, when you sort of say, we're in a downturn now. And I mean, there's an obvious downturn because the Lego group have posted a loss. So there's obviously something that's changed. And I mean, there's a recognition on their part that there's a downturn.
Well, it wasn't so much of a loss as not as much profit as they'd forecast.
Well, it's a downturn on a trended profit. I mean, it's not a recession yet because there's and
it was going to happen because like there's only so much Lego that parents can keep buying and buying and buying and buying. So they go, no, little Johnny, you've got too much Lego. You're not getting that this year.
There's no room.
But the only thing I can put positive on this year is that the regional areas are the way to go, and it seems like that was the push this year. So yeah, no, it's coming down to is between city and country as well is half the problem too.
Well, how big of an impact do you think Dimensions had on that loss? Because it seems to have, done really badly to end up in a dollar store in the US.
I reckon the amount of money they spent on those licenses, because all those figs were licensed. There wasn't a single Dimensions way that didn't have one license they paid for. It was 10 licenses for like 15 figs. It was ridiculous. So for them to
they weren't too much for what they were selling. That was half the problem too.
I think it was more of a case of also they missed the timing, like for those sorts of games being exciting and new. That was like ages ago. It's all
Skylanders.
The generation's almost in high school too. So
so different generation of kids, and they're not playing those sorts of games anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I look at that and I think the losses that they would have gotten from all those new licenses they picked up, that had to be a huge impact on that $800 million that they lost this year.
No doubt.
And some of that IP could have made them good money if they actually produced kits and that, but instead they wasted on a game.
Yeah,
you'll probably find that the license they had was only for that sort of use. Bailey, were you trying to say something?
No.
No? I wasn't sure whether I was hearing like another voice underneath Adam's voice. It's so booming.
I think that the Dimensions bombed partially too because there was nothing new about it. Like, it didn't change. It was the same game mechanics, same idea, same process, same general gameplay. Every time you bought something new. And I mean, you were spending $35, $40 on a new level pack. Yeah, what could you do? Nothing really changed. The mechanics were still the same. And if you didn't like the mechanics, then you didn't really like the game at all because nothing changed in it. The only thing I think that saved Dimensions, and it wasn't its saving grace anyway because it's canned, is the to buy it for the minifigures and then give the discs away.
I have discs for a game that I'll never play.
I do too, mate, because they're not worth anything.
I'm just waiting for the. I'm a bit disappointed because there were a few characters in the game that I wish were made into minifigs, like the main villain, Lord Vortex. They said it was going to be a polygon. It's obviously not going to come out now, so disappointed about that because he would have been all translucent. He would have been all see-through. So
that would have been cool, especially for the people
so
collect.
Missed out on that figure.
Missed opportunity.
Unless they push it out, maybe, I don't know. Hopefully, I'd love to get that figure.
I mean, I think Dimensions spoiled minifigure collectors for choice.
Yeah.
There was too many, way too many.
And the problem was the cost of the minifigure. Realistically, I mean, you had to pay for development, but at the end of the day, that's not what people were buying them for. The target audience, the intention was to buy it for the development of the software and the game platform. But realistically,
do you feel like they should have spent more time developing the game rather than just the toy?
Just think that they should have sold the discs and the figures separately.
Yeah, but that's the whole point, is to make the minifigure collectors buy the game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, they could have saved themselves a small fortune if they had a game license, had a particular figure that fit on a particular type of disc.
With that idea, you'll probably find that they weren't allowed to do stuff like that because with licensing to do with like specifics like that, you'll probably find that they weren't allowed to put in a Lego set, but they could put in a game set. So if you separate that out from the game, then it's essentially a Lego set.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it's just me spitballing. I just think.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I would be all for it, man. I would.
Yeah, it just didn't work out like that. And unfortunately, like, they got some really awesome licenses, hey? Like, I love the Dimensions license. Really gives some awesome figs. And the quality of figs coming out of that, I thought, out of that Dimensions wave and the license for Dimensions was top notch, hey? Like, I didn't think there were a lot of those figures. They were bang on.
Year two was the biggest hit. The first year didn't have any new licenses. The second year, every single wave had new licenses. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
So,
some random, cool, unique figures too, like just out of this world design and really intuitive pieces.
I love the Adventure Time ones. I thought we would never see Adventure Time in Lego.
Yeah.
I mean, I went out and bought all of the Adventure Time figures, and I don't even own a game console. They are awesome.
Same here. They're sucking me real good.
I didn't buy the.
Spend all your money. You want the Adventure Time?
But I didn't buy the Adventure Time idea set. I didn't like it.
I didn't buy it either.
Love the Dimensions figures. Just
didn't buy it.
Wow.
No, I didn't buy it. I got given it.
Oh, I was gonna say, what's going on? Why don't you have it? No. Okay, good.
No, I got given it because nobody else wanted it. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a good home.
Okay, I think we should move on. I think for the last topic, I'll throw in the curveball. Let's talk Lego ideas.
Yeah, let's
new pictures of the next Lego idea set has surfaced.
So, have you got the pictures you're going to show us, or we're going to sit here bored?
I don't dare show them at the moment because I'm not 100% sure it's safe.
Sure Lego ideas
I don't want to do RRB.
Okay, inside the saying, I do not want to get pinged for copyright. Okay, so everyone knows what we're talking about, the women of NASA.
And a lot of the pictures have Lego on it, so I just don't want to share them at the moment. So until there's some official, like, other people's photos, then I'll share them.
They did share official images. That was what was really good.
Yeah, but they're plastered with the Lego.
No, they're not. There's many
over them.
No, look on the Lego Ideas blog themselves.
And look on Brick's
look for those images. There's a link in QLog. You bullfed. Anyway,
I still don't want to touch it until it's
physically. Boss. Okay. Well, since you're going to be all like, I'm not going to show people about this, right?
You can show it on Friday.
Okay, whatever. The biggest glaring, obviously something's not quite right thing was seeing the final product and the fact that it was missing one of the key characters from the lineup.
So basically, what is it? I haven't actually seen the.
Okay, well, it's hard to talk about something when people haven't seen it, Adam. Never mind. So it had like these little like fidget. Think of like the research institute type thing, but astronauts and NASA stuff. So you had influential women from NASA over the history of it.
Yeah.
And somebody, basically put this up, obviously riding on the coattails of the research institute being a big success and everyone wanting it. But let's do this, and I can't remember, was it a he or she?
Anyway,
put up 5 different characters, and if Adam had let me know that he was definitely going to talk about this, I'd be more prepared. Give me a second. Well, I'll look up the names.
So there were 5 characters, but they've only done 4.
Yeah, I think Katherine Johnson didn't accept having her image and
likeness
and whatnot in her name.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay, hang on.
And that's
Fair
the
enough.
glaringly obvious thing you're disappointed with?
Look, Lego Ideas. Like, Lego Ideas has released this. Okay? So you got these little vignettes. All the different women. And I like, but the production value of the end product looks excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But the original had another, the Catherine character in it as well. And Lego has been asked multiple times on their Lego Ideas thing, why is this character missing? And they basically said that it was, she wasn't happy with working with them for whatever reason, or her likeness being out there in Lego. That's fair enough. So that's
it's an interesting looking box.
Box art looks awesome. And they've got it so that it shows it like a timeline type thing. Yeah. Like the different times.
Any new production parts for that one that we can see, or?
Let's see. So it shows like the likeness of the actual person as well as the Lego likeness. If I can get this damn thing to focus.
The quality will never come out either way.
As far as I know, the only specifically new thing is there's like a sort of greebly print of solar panels on a 1x4 tile. I don't think there's any recolors in it though.
Okay, yep.
So there's the figures.
Oh, cool. They have a brown head and torso figure. That's a female. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Good prints. I love the orange, the Ace suit.
Yeah, the Ace suit looks awesome.
Mm.
The shoes on the high heels on the girl with the skirt, the second from the left.
Yeah.
The shoes look pretty cool.
Is this I think this, so it's 25 US, which probably means it's either 40 or 50. Probably 45, I would say, Australian. That's not the cheapest idea set, is it, of all time?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
How much was the Research Institute?
I think it's supposed to be. I think it's going to be 65.
Yeah.
If it's 65, it's 25 US. I don't think it's 65.
No, it wouldn't be that expensive. Bit more like Research Institute price. That was like 20, wasn't it? 20 something?
No, it was $39, I think.
Oh, okay.
This has more pieces in it than the Research Institute, unless you're counting all those little tiny tiles.
Yeah, but the Research Institute wasn't a licensed set. This is licensed to NASA.
True, this is licensed, so it'll be more expensive.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it looks nice. I voted for it. I'm happy that they made it, and all the haters can go bite me.
I'm super excited for the next one coming out. Voltron.
You're probably one of the only.
Oh,
my husband's excited about it. He's like, Voltron, Voltron, Voltron.
And surprisingly, how much hate it's got too.
Oh, mate, they don't know anything. The next set I want them to make is Hitman Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe.
Well, that one's due out sometime in the year, so it'll be interesting when those photos start coming out.
Super excited for that one.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of trending on previous themes of recent, I've noticed. For sets that have been released.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of space ones coming through for approvals. There's all these new 10,000 votes and people creating idea sets for like a coastal village set based off the fishing village.
Yeah.
They seem to be trending fairly popularly at the moment.
Oh, they always do that. Something comes up, every man and his dog jumps in on it.
Has anyone seen how the Saturn V launch tower submission is doing?
Honestly, no.
I think has it made 10,000?
I don't know. I hope it doesn't. It's not going to go through. It's
Of course not.
No,
secondary to the
it won't.
main set.
That was the same with the Ghostbusters Firehouse. They weren't going to approve that one, and that's the reason why it ended up there being their own IP. So
I suppose the question is, do you think Lego would make it themselves?
No.
Could.
I mean, the reason the launch tower wouldn't make it through is because it's like an expansion, and Lego doesn't deal in expansions.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that need to be a part of the original set or not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you have the rocket, that's great, and you can have the tower with it, and that's awesome, and they work together. I don't know who in their right mind would buy just the tower if they didn't already have the rocket. Otherwise, it's just a big red tower on your shelf.
Lots of cool pieces, though.
Yeah.
True.
And like the last tower they released came with a spaceship, and that was in '96, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
96 space came out with the shuttle and tower.
Yeah. I wish they made more of those parts.
See, this is the thing with a lot of the ideas sets out there is they are trying to make kits just to get new parts out. That's half of the problem.
The other option is to, if anyone wants that tower or wants a tower similar, to just, I don't know, contact me and I'll sell them the instructions to mine.
Shameless.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You can find me on www.
Oh God.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You can fund Bailey's trip to Denmark.
Those 90s lattice, the red lattice pieces from that original launch tower are some of the more expensive parts in the one that I made, which is annoying. I only need 9 of them.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Bailey. I don't have a Saturn V, and I won't be buying your tutorial as awesome as it would be.
Okay.
I think it'll be interesting to see where our ideas go in the future, though.
Yeah.
I hope they go down the drain.
Oh, you hate them?
I don't like what it's become, but nobody agrees with me on my views of the current ideas platform, so I won't share them now. Let's get back on topic.
Oh, but it is the topic.
Adam?
I think Lego Ideas is very fanboy.
What
are your thoughts, Bailey?
Okay, so it used to be that it was an impassioned, response of the community wanting to make an impact in the hobby. They wanted these awesome, interesting ideas that wouldn't usually be produced by Lego, i.e. the Shinkai submarine, the Hayabusa satellite. They're the first two. There were things that weren't safe. There were things that were unique things that Lego could dabble with and give a go for a small market. Then it blew up and changed from Kusu to Ideas, and then they started having ever safer and safer submissions, things that Lego probably would have done given enough time, like the Firehouse, as we saw. And it became this thing that wasn't just, try and come up with something unique, but it was, let's try and find something that I can make the most of my 1% royalty with.
Do you feel like all the IP ideas have pushed out the unique ideas?
Yeah, I mean, I loved the birds. That was interesting. Lego has done some small creator animals, but nothing to that degree. Yeah. The mech, the space mech, that was an awesome little nod to classic space, and it was really interesting, and it looked like a community build because it's not the way that Lego usually builds. Yeah. But then you look at other things. Yeah. The Caterham, the yellow car. It's it's essentially something that Lego would have done in their range with the Ferrari and the Mini and those. You know, like there's certain things that are just safe, even though they're awesome. I've got the Caterham, and I think it's amazing. But
yeah, barely. I'm basically in the same thing. I when I started seeing a lot of IP stuff all coming up, and I'm going, oh, this is just a money grab now.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see more original creations.
I'd be interested to grab your thoughts on the Voltron set, Bailey. What are your thoughts on the Voltron set? Do you think that's a safe bet?
See, it's something that was a bit left of field. It's not something that Lego would usually do, and I like that they're going with it. But I can also see that it'll be the sort of thing that it'll be amazing for the Voltron fans and the people, you know, that grew up in the era that was, you know, interesting. And then that'll be it for its audience, which is exactly what the Kusu model was. It doesn't have to be for a massive audience, and so I do appreciate the Voltron thing.
No, I just thought it'd be interesting to see, based on your assessment of what you think Kuso and the direction that they've taken with ideas, whether or not you thought that the Voltron set was a safe bet, given the fact that it was like a very 70s, 80s cartoon and it's a niche market, but how they're trying to adapt it to apply to young kids.
Yeah, I like that they're at least reinventing it. Well, not reinventing it, but they're giving it a bit of an extra chance because, yeah, you're right. It's not really a safe option, and I think that it'll do well.
My wife doesn't know what Voltron is. My daughter has no idea what Voltron is. She's like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Voltron." And she's like, "Why is it all different color? Why is it all different colors, Dad? That looks pretty ugly."
Yeah, well, Voltron's also released a new series.
Oh, have they?
So that all time, you didn't know?
Nah, but I'm an originals guy. I only like originals. Like when we talk about X-Men, I only watch the Uncanny X-Men. I don't watch X-Men.
Oh, you're such a snob.
Yep. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they go with the way that progresses in that space, because I think that the fishing village, as awesome as it is one of those safe bet sets.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like an odd choice, but it also seems like the sort of thing that Lego would do if they had like a city range set by the ocean instead of their jungle theme and that sort of thing. It just seems like one of those and an extra detailed version of that sort of set.
Yeah, I like it to a modular.
Pieces.
I think like even the Ninjago City, I think is a bit of a bold statement as far as building goes for Lego outside of ideas.
It's breaking
it as a modular. It's modular compatible, but it's nothing like a modular.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're also going to look at the involvement of Warner in that sort of development too, because they made the movie.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I think that the Ninjago City modular itself was still a design choice that was completely in the hands of Lego, because it took aspects of Ninjago City movie and they chose to elevate it and give it a river, and it doesn't fit. But it's, I think, one of a bolder statement for a safe bet. I think it's them sort of testing the waters.
Yeah.
Well,
still a safe bet.
Yeah, naturally, water is going to be lower than street level anyway, so generally.
I just thought it was an interesting look at how Lego are sort of trying to push boundaries, but I think that their set count is getting larger than most people's wallets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently,
especially in this economic time when a lot of people don't have like lots of money to spend on things.
Look at the Millennium Falcon. I'm like, what the hell happened there? There's like an explosion, and it's the most.
But that's the fanboys.
It's a lot of money, man. It's like, wow.
Fanboys, you mean brickmakers and eBayers?
Well, yeah, that too. Okay, driven by the fanboys that want it so badly that they will pay a flipper.
Yeah, for $3,000. What a beautiful price. What a bargain.
You can't. Does anyone know how many of them were at the Melbourne and the Dreamworld store?
Dreamworld had 50. That's directly from
49, I think, down at Melbourne. Because I think one of them had to be used for their display. They didn't get one from Lego.
Oh, did they not get one from Lego that was already glued?
No. Yeah, they didn't get one. Same as Dreamworld, but for some reason Dreamworld, I think, ordered an extra one.
Yeah. Well, I think that the store manager wanted, like, you know, a couple of hundred or something he knew they'd sell. So
there's a good profit margin for them too. So
bloody Ben, did you see Ben's pun in the chat? Far out.
What pun?
It's his that.
Flooding the market. Good on you, Benji.
Oh, it's so good. I'm assuming in relation to Ninjago City and the street level. That's so good.
Okay, guys. One last thing. Let's do a prediction. What do we think this year's modular will be?
0. I think Ninjago City was it.
I reckon it wasn't. I reckon it wasn't because the announcements are usually in November. And
rumors are usually out by now. There's no rumors. The only rumor I've heard is the Taj Mahal.
No.
But I think Ninjago City.
That's always the rumor every year. The Taj Mahal.
I think Ninjago City kind of shot themselves in the foot because they've released it so late in the year that what the hell's the point of releasing another module 4 months later? I don't even. You know,
and it's not compatible with modules. It doesn't fit in.
I still reckon that they're coming along the lines towards the railway station, but this year it won't be because of what they've done with the Winter Village set series. So,
I've been looking at some of the stuff that has been like the mini builds and things in Lego City and in Creator, what they've been doing. I'd love to see either an interesting styled old architecture apartment, sort of like the pet shop, or like a really modern looking apartment like they've done with the Creator modular 3-in-1 set, I think, that came out this year.
You know what I would love to see?
Yeah.
I would love to see a 16th century Gothic or concrete brutalist library.
Oh, my dad would love that too.
That's something what they haven't done yet. Library.
We're getting very
or a museum. Or a museum. That would be another interesting one.
Wasn't there like a natural history museum that was knocked back and not chosen? It'd be convenient if they did make a modular that was something like that anyway.
They've done a
well, you got to put your minds to modulars start development 2 years in advance too. So
yeah, but that natural history museum has been put up a couple of times. It wasn't new.
Yeah.
Adam.
I think the library fits with the theme that generally the modulars utilise around that sort of early 80s, late 70s sort of style of architecture that fits in with the European. And I mean, in Europe there are heaps of libraries. I don't think Lego would be as bold as to make a church.
Hey, Bendy is saying maybe the hospital.
I could hope for a hospital.
That's the one thing that gets me. Friends series gets a hospital, but because some German kids think the City brand doesn't deserve another hospital because it makes everyone feel unwell, we suffer with no more hospitals in the Lego thing.
I think that thought is changing and starting to swing because you look at them spread the first person in a wheelchair. Disability issues.
Yeah, but that was social media push.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think Lego is starting to switch their move, and I mean they wouldn't have put one in even if the media had a push if children weren't going to play with it.
Yeah.
Because I mean
another.
Oops.
I'm trying to think.
The other thing they haven't made a modular yet is police station.
Yeah, that was one, but my guess the detective office is sort of a crossover there.
Probably what it's meant to be.
That's like saying Aussie. That's like saying Aussie Brick Chick. The only thing they haven't done is a modular helicopter.
Yeah. That's a joke. Jeez.
A modular helicopter.
saying
I want
like-
to see him. I want the next. I
They
want
already
the next
did
one to be a modular helipad.
They already did the fire brigade.
Uh,
They
Adam,
already did.
Yeah, modular, the only thing that doesn't have a helicopter in it.
post office. That was the other one I was thinking of. Post office.
that'd be cool.
Post office.
But they did,
That would be a nice
one.
one.
They did Winter Village post office though.
Yeah.
You reckon
That would
they
be
should do a
cool.
modular post office?
The police
Maybe
station.
doing like a 2-in-1. You know how with the pet one, they have the
Mate.
the unit as well. Maybe 2-in-1.
But the thing is, I think that they won't. The next one won't be a corner building. I don't think.
Right, they've already done 3.
Because the brick bank was a corner building. The Ninjago City was a corner building. Like they've got more corner buildings than they do real buildings.
Yeah.
You couldn't make a streetscape out of them. You'd have like 4 corners joined together.
Yeah.
But
So
police station isn't a far reach because they've already done fire brigade. So
Yeah, it's a possibility.
yeah,
I know there was another rumor that people are saying, oh, they might re-release the Cafe Corner, but
laughing my ass off.
well,
I can't see that happening.
There seems to be a lot of things that are being re-released, so it's not completely out of the question. But what would be the point?
Yeah.
They just did a
To make money.
Assembly Square.
No.
But they just did Assembly
It is
Square.
out of
and it
reach
was a
because some of the
homage
pieces,
module. So
some of the pieces in that set are no longer in. They don't no longer make those pieces. So
That would have
Maybe
to
make
change
a modern version of it. Yeah.
Oh,
That
Adam,
was the other rumor I've been hearing.
speaking of rumors and remakes and things, next year they're doing a series celebrating the 60th anniversary of the brick.
yeah.
I believe
Castle,
it's
Pirates,
5.
Castle, Pirates, City, Town, whatever. Yeah.
Well, it's meant to be 5 sets, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my thought is that they'll do something from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Either a remake or a redesign. What would be our favorite set to get a redesign?
Well, I know what Benzie would be.
What around?
I would like to see, and it won't like people would be like, "Oh yeah, I know, because you're a train guy. You're going to be monorail." No, my choice for a redesign would be the Metroliner.
Oh yeah, with like a straight remake or redesigned with modern parts.
I think a redesign with modern parts would be pretty cool. A modern interpretation of the Metroliner would be a pretty awesome set to have a look at.
Yeah.
To visit. I think the Caribbean Clipper would be a pretty cool set to redesign.
Oh yeah.
Pirates.
Maybe the fort from the Western theme would be a good one to see.
Yeah,
a redesign.
True, that'd be cool.
That would be
Mine
nice.
is this one. Mine is this one for Castle Plus.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Plus.
yeah. Anything castle, even the yellow castle, I would like to see a re.
That would probably
out one.
That would probably be it. The yellow castle would be their pick, I would assume.
Yeah.
You know what I reckon would be a really interesting take on a redesign? Not that it'd be a very popular remake, but time turners. Is it time turners?
Oh, Time Cruisers.
Time
yeah.
Cruisers, I think would be a
Oh,
really
yeah, Time
interesting
Cruisers,
redesign.
Rock
it
Raiders.
wouldn't be popular, but
Rock
I
Raiders.
think it would be an interesting look at a redesign using new parts.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that. It'd almost be like the Lego movie sets, that was sort of like kitback.
Yeah.
And it'd be like that.
Yeah, and they were really popular, hey?
Yeah.
And I think while it wouldn't be popular amongst AFOLs, I think it'd be a hit for kids.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll go. I reckon they'll go predictable and go with sets that were very famous for their history. They'll go just very predictable on what they make.
Benzi says something very interesting in the chat. Could the Taj Mahal work in the classic release?
But they've already made. They've already made a very, very, very worthy Taj Mahal set that doesn't need to ever be made again. There's no point.
Other than the fact that people want it.
Benzi,
If people only want it, they can't have it.
The old one you can still get for a decent price. It's not that much over the market price. $500, not much over that. $800 to $1,000. I mean.
Well, personally, I cannot see anything anything related with monorails trains coming out because unless it's modernized.
I reckon they'll stick with like your classic themes.
So, castle, classic town, maybe. I would love to see some of the original town ideas maybe modernized.
I think the town, I reckon I might do a Lego truck.
Space. Western would be another good one to see because it has to be a classic Western.
What about Aquanaut?
Big set.
Aquanaut, yeah.
They'll do pirates, space.
I was keen.
Yeah. I reckon they'll stick to the classics like pirate, space, town.
Probably stick to the IP line.
I reckon they'll just go very, very predictable. If they're going to re-release a set, you'll get a Yellow Castle. You get a Benny's, the old version of Benny's spaceship, the first one. You get one of Brickbeard's bounties. You'll get one of it'll be just something very predictable. That's just the way I look at it.
But I don't even know if they're going to remake them. I don't think they will remake them. I just think they will make a set.
I think they'll take the style.
Similar, yeah.
They'll
take the style and make it new.
But they'll make it that style. I don't think they'll remake a particular set for an era. And if they do make a set for an era, I reckon it'll be like, those promos that we get from Lego when you used to get the free sets.
Yeah.
It'll be like a tiny small box set that'd be like $20.
Probably. It'll be like that catapult and that castle figure they had a few years ago when you spent like $100 on Lego Shop at Home in that white box.
The pirate on the island, whatever it was.
Like that.
Pirate on the island. Yeah. I reckon that they'll probably end up building around that size, I think.
I've seen pictures from the retailer catalogue. They've got a box for each of the standard sizes. They've got like your small stocking stuffer, your slightly larger $30 price range one.
So it's going to be a whole like proper line for each.
I think five or six sets was in the retailer catalogue. Obviously, they're all booked out, but it had box sizes.
Honestly, I haven't gotten my eyes on a retailer catalogue in a while, so.
Came out earlier on Reddit.
Might have to visit. I might have to visit my Lego friend.
It'll be interesting to see what they decide to make, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day,
one big box.
Nobody's going to be happy with it.
Yeah,
it'll be like, it'll either be too small, too big, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, all the assholes will bitch and moan and argue with each other, and then they'll buy them anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And they'll buy them in mass and then sell them on eBay for an inflated price.
But you never know what Lego's plans have been. But you never know. Lego could have had molds of the old pieces saved for a time like this. You never know. They could have done that so that it could produce a set with those pieces. So, I don't know. You can be surprised, I guess. We'll see.
Well, could you imagine if they brought out Monorail? Everyone will like,
Maybe the re-release of 9 Volt.
I was going to say inappropriate things, and then I stopped myself.
I think if they had if they still had the monorail mold, they would have already made sets because of how much money they would have been.
If anyone wants monorail, 40 bricks, it produces quite a reasonable monorail track and all that.
Yeah.
And I've looked at it; it's good quality. It's surprisingly good. So I can't see Lego producing it when someone else is already producing it now.
It's going to be definitely a very interesting year to see what the Lego Group does this year in forward planning for the downturn in sales, to see whether or not that slows the juggernaut down for sets that they produce, because their set list inventory, I feel, this year is just out of control.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I can't stress that enough. It is ridiculous.
But do you think that's because they've got 2 movies out? There's like a ridiculous amount of sets out there.
No, I think exponentially they've been growing though.
It's not the amount though. It's not the amount of themes. It's the amount of sets they produce for one wave of one theme now. It's crazy. Who has that kind of money?
We don't have enough room on the shelves at work to put all of our sets out. We'll have like some sets sideways to be able to fit them out. But for a retail sense, there's more than what is usually possible on a shelf.
Bricks and Fun at Capella has the same issue as well. There's not enough room to put every single set out. It's getting that to that point too. So
Hey, Flash Pants is in the chat saying they should bring out classic helicopter.
Yes.
Helicopters. The Zinger, right with you.
There was a good model team one that came with a truck. I will say. I'm just saying.
Classic helipad. To go with, I reckon.
I tell you what, one thing I would love to have boats again. Big ships.
Boats that float.
Yeah, big ships and stuff.
I'm on a boat.
That was something I would love.
Bailey's probably going to think that this is a harebrained idea, and he might love it. But I want to see the Lego Group bring out brick versions of their wooden toys.
Yes, I do want to see that. With
I know they made a Lego employee gift of the Dark out of Lego.
Yeah.
But I want to see like their fire trucks and their SO trucks that they used to make, all built out of Lego.
Oh, the Massey Ferguson tractor.
And you get a pull string that you can actually hook a brick on, and you can pull it with a string, and it comes with a rope like the old wood. Like that would be an awesome nod to Lego as a group turning an
Not something that actually works like the Dark.
No, it doesn't have to work. You just grab it, like you brick
but
it
you
together,
can make
and it's got a
that
string.
work.
Yeah. I know you can, but that wasn't what the Lego toys used to do. The Lego toys, you just pulled them along. They were like trucks.
Yeah, they had string. They had string. The Duck had a string.
And supplied a string for the kid, and they actually have a string that you can pull along and pull like a wooden toy, except they're just made out of Lego. That would be, I reckon, the best.
Yeah, Adam. Funny you mentioned that Ferguson tractor at the Lego house. There's a brick-built Ferguson tractor. I don't know where it is. I don't think it's in the basement. I think it's up in the red or blue zone, whichever one is about technology. And it's got a few non-production parts in red colors, but you can make it in all light gray. And so I've been trying to find other photos of it from different angles to try and remake it on
reverse
LED. Yeah, reverse engineer it. But I've only so far found 2 photos of them, and neither of them help me more than just the facade. So I need more of my friends to go up there and try and scout it out for a photo. I've got about 70% of it done. There's just a few different things that I can't quite work out.
I tell you one thing. If they did bring out Massey Ferguson tractor classic of their original, I would love to get one. Being a farming family kid, I'm a big fan of tractors. So
okay. Let me throw a cat amongst the pigeons for all the girls out there that. Ha ha ha. Do you think they would do a release of Paradisa thing?
Hey, that's a cool idea. I like that.
Because other than the colors, like some of the colors no longer like being around.
Well, back then, a lot of the colors were a little bit bright.
No, they weren't. They were very pastel-y.
Yeah, they were very pastel-y.
Yeah.
They had a lot of like.
If you're going to go down the girly route, go all the way, and let's just go clicks.
You mean clickets?
Yeah, same thing.
you're going to name something, name it right, Philip.
Oh,
hey, I know sort of roughly what it was. That was pretty impressive considering I'm a boy.
Yeah, well, when Clickers came out, like I saw them and I think I bought them for my niece, but because I had a boy and not a girl, it was like such a girl product. You wouldn't buy it for a male child. So like it's one of those things I saw on the shelf. I was like, oh yeah, that looks cool. Never, bought it for myself. I wasn't in Lego back then.
Well, at the time when it was out, I was actually working at Lincraft, and it actually was in Lincraft stores.
Yeah,
at the time.
I used to see it all the time at Maya had all of them, heaps of them. At Charlestown.
Hey, Bales, on your Massey tractor picture, you'll have to send me the pictures and tell me what part you want to reverse engineer. I'm normally pretty good at rebuilding something from pictures. Yeah,
so am I usually. It's more that it's just blurry, and so I can't work out, like, how many studs certain things are. There's a lot of stud offsetting, but I'll see if I can find the picture again, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you'll have to send which part you need to work out, and I'll see if I can help you out.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
That was a nice segue back off Paradisa. I don't know. Talk about girly things for 3 seconds, and Philip's like, "No, must talk about tractors."
Hey, mate, I have probably one of the biggest male collections of Lego friends that I know of.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Ross is one of the biggest fans of Friends.
I'm all for girly Lego. Like, I've got a mini doll collection that you could almost say rivals one of Barbie's parties.
Oh, really?
I've got mini dolls coming out.
If I knew that you were coming to Brisbane, I would have brought you some Lego.
Yeah, well, it was sort of a last minute thing. I didn't find out that I was flying out until Friday afternoon, and my flight was finalised 2 hours before I flew out.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so my accommodation was sorted out now before I left the tarmac.
Oh God,
that's shocking.
So it was very last minute. It was hey, we need you to go somewhere. Rightio, when do I leave? This afternoon. Rightio. Okay. Where am I staying? Oh, we haven't got that far yet. We'll figure that one out. We'll let you know as soon as we do. Righto.
It's like, don't worry, you'll have somewhere to stay, maybe.
Maybe, or we'll let you know when you land, where you're going to. That was the last conversation I had before they rang me up at the airport as I'm about to board.
Ooh.
So yeah, it was interesting, but that's all right. It was a last minute thing. Had I have known I was coming in advance, I would have organised it, but it's all right. But I quite like girly Lego. The colours are awesome. They make some pretty cool buildings.
Oh yeah, about a third of the colours on my chart are only there because of Scala, Belleville, and Friends. And Clickets. Clickets has about like 12 unique colours.
Mm.
The Lego Friends pastel colours make really great skyscraper buildings and lower levels for like crazy retro shops.
Yeah.
The pastel yellow, lime yellows, and pinks and lime greens make really cool pinball arcades.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Whew. We rounding up, Adam?
I think it's time to round up. Surprisingly, went a little bit off topic a few times, but
hey, you were awesome.
Good talk. It was good talk. So, just put it on me for a sec. That is Inside the Brickbox community news for tonight. Thank you for all the people being on. RIB finally turning up at the end there.
At
the end, yeah. You were happy.
Yeah, at the end.
Thanks, Philip, for popping in, and Bailey for giving us all the nice informal information. Always interesting when you're around. And Aussie Brick Chick ABC for stirring the pot.
Seems to be the theme of the week.
So don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed to Inside the Brickbox channel. We're always looking for new subscribers. Don't forget to press the bell up the top to get notification when the next Inside the Brickbox new community Lego community news video will be up. Hopefully it will be Wednesday next week. It wasn't Wednesday this week because I was sadly sick at the start of the week. So this is why we're on the Thursday today. Don't forget to like and rate this video. I like when I get the thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and say some good topics for next week, and I'll look into them. The better the topic, the more likely it'll be on the show. So I think that's it, guys, and I'm happy. We've had a great show this week. So.
Hey, happy.
And we'll see you tomorrow night, right?
Yes, don't forget ABC. I'll just put ABC up.
On my channel, boys and girls, come check it out. We have an awesome community chat on Fridays. It's always fun. So come check out Aussie Brick Chick. Subscribe, hit the bell. We'll be on 10 p.m. And if you miss it, watch it back later. It's like an awesome podcast.
No, we'll be on at 11 p.m. My bad.
11 p.m. your time. Yeah. 10 p.m. in Queensland, where we don't believe in daylight savings.
Just make sure when Aussie Brick Chick puts up her notification, look on the video. There will be a time on the bottom to your region. So check there, and you'll know what time it'll be coming up. So
awesome
look
stuff.
for that tomorrow. Look for that tomorrow night. So thank you everyone for coming, and thanks to all the guys in the chat, including Flash Pants, Benzie. Who else was here?
Me.
Derpy, RRB, yeah. I think that's all. What was it? Oh, Johnny G was in there. Oh, Iceman Bricks was there for a few bits. Thanks for coming in, having a little chat through, guys. It was a very interesting show, and we'll wind that up now. And thank you. Yep. Hopefully, I won't get sick again. Well, I've got the weekend off, so I shouldn't get sick. Until then, guys, keep on building. Bye.
Bye.